Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ken and Mark Show.
Or how I learned to stop worrying and just call it football.
That's right, the show where the opinions are made up and Liverpool won the title.
I'll give you that one, sir. That wasn't a mess. That wasn't a flub. I got Mark over here ad-libbing on me like he's an actor.
That and now you know why I'm an architect and not in the arts, as we say.
Oh, come on now, director Mark Burrell.
Worst ad-lib ever.
Worst ad-lib ever. I don't know if are you a fan of the shoulder products?
No,
now?
because I don't have one.
Is it Wells Fargo for Liverpool?
Yeah, and Kohler makes
such.
So like I don't know that's a cool thing. I mean I don't know.
Kohler, the bold look of Kohler. It's just I'm
all right.
I remember. I think it was Chelsea's was the first one I noticed. I can't remember what it was, but I remember seeing like what is that on there?
Is it the one with the two like? Is it the one with the two women back to back and like sitting down?
No, that's an actual jersey company. Company called
It's Australian, and I because I had to look it up because I thought that's a weird thing to put on a shirt, but yeah, it's an actual clothing company.
Actual company, and but no, when I started seeing like, I mean, I guess you got the Premier League patch on one side. Hell, you don't need two of these patches. Put a logo on there.
Actually, we already know what league we're playing in, so we're good there.
Yeah, we got it. Let's make some money.
All right, so kick off the show this weekend.
Okay.
Liverpool won the title. I don't know if I mentioned that. Okay, so to kick off the show this week. For the past 7 days, Ken, temperatures in the Arctic Circle have exceeded 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
You're serious?
Yes.
100 in the Arctic Circle, 100 degrees.
Yes. And I don't remember if it's just in the circle or at the actual pole. I believe it's in the circle, but even so, that's a that's a ridiculous number.
I've never heard that. It may have happened before, but I've never heard that happen.
Apparently, it has happened previously, but when it does happen, it is for like a single day or 2 days during August. The fact that it has already happened for 7 straight days in June is a bit of a problem. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue.
So basically, then the Arctic pack ice will be gone in a couple years.
Yeah, we're basically screwed.
Wow.
I am thankful
climate change ain't real.
I am thankful that when the end comes in 2023, Liverpool will at least have one Premier League title to their names instead of 0.
As long as United can get or more, we can get back. Gotta knock you off your fucking perch again.
If you could promise me that that you could knock 10 degrees off the Arctic Circle temperature for every United championship, I would give it to you.
I wish I could, man. I wish I had those magic abilities.
Under those circumstances, I would accept that.
Like, we need superheroes like that. Superheroes that can control the weather, like Storm. Like, why isn't she the face of climate change? Like, she could literally stop it with her power.
Has anyone thought of that? Like, during World War II, like, Superman punched Hitler. Like, has nobody thought of this
Captain
idea?
America punched Hitler in the jaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why not take this? I mean, this is this slow-moving, like, I mean, hell, we just had the Sahara Desert blow over here. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I got a text from my mom yesterday telling me to stay inside because of the dust cloud from Africa. I was like, what? So I have to look this up.
Mom, you all right?
It's like Mom is
Like,
old, but
hey,
I didn't think she was senile. I
Hey,
don't
Dad.
understand what's happening.
Hey, Dad, you might want to check on Mom. She's saying that there's African dust in the Canadian. But no, yeah, when I heard about that news story, I looked it up, and like they had the Florida weatherman, like, that haze you see is Africa. It's like,
Wow.
what?
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often, but it seems like things that don't happen often are all happening right now.
They're happening like all the time now. Yeah.
Like 2020 is breaking a record for the craziest fucking year ever.
Dude, you remember like 6 months ago when we thought like 2019 was fucked up?
Oh man, I'd give anything for 2019 again.
No kidding, right?
I'd give anything for 2019. 2019 was a great year.
Let's rewind
2020.
This is.
I feel like we've been in. I feel like we've been in 2020 for I don't know, 3 years right now. I mean, it feels like this year has just been.
We've been in 2020 since 2018. That's what's happening here. That's totally what's happening.
It's funny, like Hassan Minaj put it good, where he said, people are saying, we're living through history right now, and how great is that we're living through history? He's like, no, that's not great. Reading about history is awesome. Watching the History Channel, now that's awesome.
That's
living
fun.
through it, no. Because when you watch it or read about it, you have the narrative, good guys, bad guys, or this happened and they fixed it with this. You know what happens.
Yeah.
When you're living through it, it's scary.
And the best part about World War II is that I wasn't involved.
Yeah, I didn't have to, run around having Nazis shoot at me.
I can watch it on TV.
Nowadays, I could have Nazis
now
shoot. I guess the sequel.
You have that
coming.
now anyway. Right.
Yeah, there's the sequel to World War II, Nazi Boogaloo, where a bunch of Nazis got to help open the youth center or something.
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Is what we've got right here. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear about the Russians? Putin putting bounties on American soldiers overseas?
Let's save that for later.
Okay.
All right, now
our president didn't do anything about it.
Right now, it is time for the Whirlwind Week in Review. I don't even need a sound effect anymore. It's terrific.
Oh, man.
Okay, so the big story of the weekend. Liverpool FC.
What?
On Thursday last week, Chelsea and one American-made Christian Pulisic defeated Manchester City.
He's young. He's young. He didn't know what he was doing.
And by virtue of that victory, Liverpool FC were crowned champions of the English Premier League for the first time in Liverpool history. Champions of the top flight for the first time in 30 years. Can I have your thoughts, Ken?
My thoughts. Well, there was a percentage of me. There's a percentage of me, since I didn't grow up in England, but I do have an affinity for my team, and my biggest rival happens to be the team that you root for. There was a percentage of me that if this season were to have been nullified, like, just gonna count this one, there was a part of me that was like, good. And then there was another part of me was like, that was bigger. Like, that would suck. It's not right. It wasn't like, because this year, I've not seen a team like this dominate since, I would say, and I'm not even going to say last year's Man City because they only won the league by a point.
They only won by,
but
won by 1 point.
I haven't seen this since maybe Antonio Conte's Chelsea or Ferguson's United, where a team won it early and was just dominant.
Yeah.
Liverpool's performances this year, they had everything. And they won so many games in a row, then played United, and we actually tied you, which was like a victory unto itself from the way you guys were playing. But Liverpool, the sign of a champion is always winning the games that you really shouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's what Liverpool did this season. There weren't many of them, but there were times where teams, they hit you in the mouth, and Liverpool would either get a draw that time or lose those games. But this year, Liverpool came back to win all of those games, except for one.
Right.
But it's like
it's still a bit of a sore spot. But yeah,
but you're 25. I mean, when the league got suspended, and you're like 25 points ahead of second place. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck is that? Like,
yeah.
I mean, you get like. I've never seen a League One this early. I've never seen it won in such dominant fashion. It's weird to say I've never seen League One this early, but most of the time the league is over by now.
Well, yes, but not officially, right?
It is. It's June. Usually it's the transfer windows open and stuff, but
yes.
But no, this team is one of the most smartly put together and patiently. Something I will say about Liverpool and their tip of the cap to the owners, who I thought were a joke when they bought them, the Fenway Sports Group. I thought, here's another American ownership group that doesn't understand the game or the people that support it, and they're going to get this all wrong, and Liverpool's fucked. But once they signed Klopp, and then started to get this ball rolling and really built a team around the manager, and then hired a sporting director, a GM, to really work with Klopp about what kind of player, and then work the analytics into it. Like FSG, Liverpool I was watching a video about it. They were leaking money. Like there was a reason you guys hadn't won a title. There was a reason that Liverpool, the historic team that it is, you were paying, I think, $650,000 a week in bills from previous managers and ownership groups, like the Gillettes that owned them previously. Just fuck Liverpool up. I mean, that's why they could only get one good player like a Suarez or a Coutinho, but you bought them cheap, and then they blossomed underneath you. But then you eventually had to sell them because you didn't have any money. But Fenway Sports Group really, they listened to Klopp. The first hiring Jurgen Klopp was a stroke of genius. To me, the easiest decision, you look what he did with Mainz, you look what he did with Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there.
There was one guy for the job, and that was it. Yeah.
He fits Liverpool to it. I mean, I wanted him for United so much. I know when we first talked, when we go back to our episodes, I want to say I was a soothsayer or something, saying this guy is going to bring you a title. You're going to be good. Yeah. I don't think you believed me. I don't think you knew much about Jurgen Klopp.
No,
but man, he is the manager every team wants. When you score a goal, he's on the fucking sideline like, yes, the hugs. Like what Roger Bennett always says, I want to, when I'm feeling down, I want someone to hug me like Jurgen Klopp hugs Adam Lallana. I want someone that can give me a Klopp hug. But as Roger Bennett says, the Teutonic Care Bear. I mean, he is just, if there's one thing to tell you, there's one of those, I'll keep this one thing short. To me, this is Liverpool and Klopp in a short story. Jordan Henderson and Klopp are at a Champions League press conference post game. I believe they just lost. Yeah. And this German guy asked the question in German, and when it got translated, it kind of said something like, it didn't basically call him a dumbass or the team shit, but it did. It basically, it wasn't nice what he said in German. Of course, Jordan Henderson doesn't know German.
Right.
But his manager just happens to be German.
Right.
Jurgen Klopp stopped he was talking, and he stopped him, and he basically said, "Don't talk to my player like that. I thought you'd be smarter. He has a German coach, and he's speaking to this back to him in German, like, will you ever talk to one of my players like that again? This press conference is over." And he basically called the guy an idiot, and it was like, whoa. Like, I love a manager like that will who just basically stomped this guy out, just a little press guy, and wouldn't let him get away with anything to protect the captain, which he wouldn't have took it. It wouldn't even have bothered him, but just that to not let anything affect his players. To me, that says take that and then just that's Jurgen Klopp in a nutshell.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things here, right? So like the first and probably the most important part of this championship is Jurgen Klopp. I totally agree with you. This doesn't happen under Rafa Benitez. This doesn't happen under Brendan Rodgers. This happens because of Jurgen Klopp. Because and if you go back and you look at a lot of the points along the way where this thing was built, you'll understand. Like the time when we lost, what was it, 4-0 to like Fulham or some dumb shit like that, and Klopp comes out in the post game and says, "Look, I need the fans to support the team. I understand they're not very good right now, but that isn't the point. The point is they need you like you need them. So I need you to support them even when they're not good." And if you look at the fan reaction after that game, it was completely different.
It's night and day. It was night and day.
The fans had never been spoken to like that before, especially from the manager.
That's what's beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, and you've got. I mean, I can't think of a single story that I've read of a player on this team that would do anything other than run through a brick wall for this guy. Like on every team, you have that one malcontent who doesn't like his playing time, or he doesn't like the scheme, or he thinks the coach is an idiot.
Yeah.
Is there that guy on this team? I have no idea, because I haven't heard that from anybody. The second part is somebody put up a graphic. I think it was Sky Sports had a graphic, or maybe it was NBC Sports over on Sunday afternoon, but they had a graphic of the purchases Liverpool has made during Jurgen Klopp's tenure. Okay, there was one player on that list that was not a steal, and that was Naby Keita, right? Like Sadio Mane from Southampton for 38 million, steal. Mo Salah from Roma for 50.
From Roma, yeah.
Like Fabinho, steal. Like everybody on that list is worth twice what they paid for. Even Virgil van Dijk at 100 million. Like the scouting that went into putting this team together, the belief in his academy players, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson being two of the top fullbacks in Europe. If you had said that 3 years ago, people would have laughed at you.
And I'd say the biggest part of business, seeing Andy Robertson from Hull City and picking him out of obscurity and being like, no, this guy, like, what did they see in that fullback that, no, he fits my system perfectly. And then I'm going to take my academy player and I'm going to give you the two best I'm going to give you the best fullback pairing that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. And Shaqiri has been a problem child on every team he's played on. Every team he's played on, he's been a problem. Not on this one. And now he has a title to show for it.
I mean, he was never going to get a title anywhere he played, and he came in and he played less here, but was impactful in almost every time he was subbed in or started.
Jurgen Klopp turned Dejan Lovren from a David Luiz-like joke into the second best player on the Croatian national team and the third best defender on Liverpool back line. How did that happen?
I would love to see I want a video of Jurgen Klopp meeting with these players, their initial first meeting, sitting down with Jurgen Klopp. What does he talk to them? Or even after they're bought. Like, I had a vision in my mind, like with like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. You buy him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's coming from Arsenal, and he was always just like, he was a good player. I mean, but he's more middling. He'd have his moments, but I almost want to say like Jurgen's just all positivity, like had a video like, see, this is the guy we bought right here. And he showed like has a highlight reel, a sizzle reel of him like flying past people and put it in like, Where is this
Yeah.
guy at? Let's get this. This is the guy we bought right here, and he's sitting
Yeah.
right across from me.
Yeah.
And I think he gets these guys to believe in themselves, and doesn't ask them to do something they're not good at.
Right.
I think that's to me that's the key of this Liverpool team, because if you look at it, yeah, you can say Mo Salah is great and Sadio Mane is great, but I think they're greater than the sum of their parts, because
Yes.
the way they've come together in his style. Because no one was going after Gigi Wijnaldum. Nobody was going after Salah. Nobody was going, like, yeah, Van Dijk and Alisson were probably your only two surefire guys.
Yes. I mean, the rest of these guys were considered Premier League failures. Like, Mo Salah was out of the Premier League because he couldn't hack it at Chelsea. Like, these guys weren't. Nobody was lining
up to get these guys.
These are the Vegas Golden Knights of the EPL. Like, nobody wanted this crew.
And if you look at it, I mean, I think they each play, telling Firmino, like, I mean, almost playing like that. It wasn't a true false nine, but dropping your striker back and letting your wide attackers, because that's what worked. Like, because Salah and Mane can both cut inside, and Firmino, it's cut down on Firmino's goals, but the way he can I think Klopp's he can distribute the ball very well to both of those guys.
Right.
So let the defense collapse on Firmino, because he still is a goal scoring threat. Let the defense have to collapse on him, and he can just kick it out either way, and they got a goal.
Right.
And that's been been some of their best goals, is it's working up the spine, get it to Firmino, and then Sadio. And I mean, if you're a defender, you've got Sadio Mane coming from one side, Mo Salah coming from the other. Who do you mark at that point? Because they've already beat their fullbacks.
Right.
You got 3-on-2 the whole time.
Apparently, what he told Lovren was, he sat Lovren down. He said, "Look, if you believe in yourself the way I believe in you, you'll be the best center back in Europe."
So I was right.
That's apparently what he told him.
How he did it.
That's apparently what he told
I didn't know that story. I didn't know that story. So my thinking of how he would have talked to somebody was fucking spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
He's amazing.
I don't think any other manager could have gotten out of this group what he got out of them. I mean,
any other manager,
look at the guys there.
Any other manager.
Like Divock Origi, Jordan Henderson, even freaking Adam Lallana, like, came into some games and scored important goals.
Big goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
He puts guys in positions to succeed. He puts guys in positions to succeed.
Yeah.
And he's done that because he's always had to work with less. Everywhere he was at, he had to work with less. He's never been given the pot of gold like at United or Chelsea or Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Right.
He's never been given this big. He's like, all right, we're building a team here, so we need you to really get as much out of it as you can. So they've had to seek these deals and be patient with some players.
Right.
I mean, I think besides, like, Mane and Salah, they kind of hit the ground running right away, which people weren't expecting.
Right.
I mean, people were laughing at people.
So
that's what it was.
So where does Liverpool go from here? I know we talked last week. I'm a little disappointed in the Timo Werner to Chelsea, because I feel like the front three on this team is starting to age a little bit, and they're not really.
Isn't he a fullback?
Who? Timo Werner?
Timo Werner. Yeah.
No, he's a striker.
I thought the forward was.
He's a striker.
Because everything I've been seeing, he's a fullback. Let me look this up real quick.
Okay.
I've been seeing on the not so much the internet. Timo Werner. Timo Werner. Here he is. He is right back for Leipzig.
That is not up to date then.
They have him as footballer they have him who plays striker.
Yeah.
I guess he does play striker in the Bundesliga. Oh, the
Yes.
reason why why I've been getting right back for the thing when they put it up?
Uh-huh.
It's RB Leipzig. I'm like, oh wow, they're paying that much for a fullback. Oh, okay. RB
Yes.
Leipzig. That's
He is a
okay.
striker. Yes. So I hope that in the offseason, because I think what we saw as this season ground on, and part of it is obviously, you go 44 matches unbeaten, and all the pressure of going undefeated and all that stuff counts too. But it never hurts to have quality guys on the bench that you can bring on when your starters are not performing the way you need them to. And so I'm hoping this summer, I don't know how this transfer window is even going to work this summer. I don't know if anybody knows. But I'm hoping that we're able to make some adjustments to kind of fill in I don't want to see weak spots, but the soft spots in this team.
It's strengthening. It's you basically with Liverpool when I look at next season Liverpool, I want to strengthen the team. It ain't broke, so I'm not trying to fix it. The reason why if I'm a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't be upset about Timo Werner going to Chelsea because Timo Werner, I think, changes how you have to play. You play him, you're not dropping him back like Firmino. He's up top.
Right.
So I think that takes away. I think a player like Timo Werner takes away from what Salah and Mane can do. Now, if Mane were to go to Real Madrid or something like that, then yeah, you bring in Timo Werner. You bring in but I think what Liverpool need is someone better than Divock Origi. But you need when you're down a goal, you need that plan B. When you're down a goal, you need that striker who can be up front.
Yes.
And play maybe you switch to a 4-4-2 and you have Firmino next to like what Chelsea did with getting the meaty French forehead Olivier Giroud.
Yes. Yeah. I was just gonna say they need their Olivier Giroud, where you bring a guy on and
he's not going to start.
He's not on the field. He's going to get a header from right in front of the box on a corner.
He can change, but he also changes the way Chelsea plays. When you bring him in, the structure of the team changes. Yeah, and I think if you buy a guy like Timo Werner, you have to start him, but you're changing the way Liverpool setups from the beginning. He's not going to want to sit the bench and then come in 70th minute and then you change your system up. I think you want a guy that can complement Firmino, that kind of striker.
So who do you think is out?
You don't want to.
Who do you think is out there that can do that?
I think Aubameyang, if you could get him from Arsenal, or I think Lacazette could do that for Liverpool. Either one of those guys. More so Lacazette. I think you could get Lacazette and you could get the Lacazette that played for Olympic Marseille. I think he came from or Olympic Lyonnais. I can't from Lyon. I think you can get that guy instead of the Arsenal Lacazette if you bought him. Look what he did with Chamberlain, and what he did with Ox is nothing short of like magic.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
A player in that mold.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit wary of anybody off Arsenal just because of the way Arsenal is right now. But yeah, I understand the kind of guy you're talking about.
I want that type of. I want a striker who is maybe hasn't been given the right chances at his club, is maybe a little disgruntled. I want a guy with a chip on his shoulder who will buy into my system. I think that's what works. I think that's what works best with Liverpool right now because it ain't broke.
Right.
You just won the league by 25 points. That's ridiculous. So obviously now, yes, there is some aging. I mean, they're 28, but everyone's pretty much in their prime. I would bolster the midfield because you can never go wrong bolstering your midfield. Never. Yeah. Like that's never a bad thing. How long can Jordan Henderson keep up what he's doing? And he has been nothing short of sublime. Like Jordan Henderson doesn't get enough credit. He's not the fastest. He's not the most but he is the engine in midfield. Like he's the guy that when he came in, Klopp just said, "This I need out of you what you can do, so do it."
I hate to give him that credit, but I think you're right. He's kind of the guy
He's really
that
good.
drives this.
He's a solid and I say even a player who you really need to replace and get the same kind of guy, and I don't know where he's at, but James Milner. James Milner is a Terminator. He's a Terminator.
Jordan Henderson is like a poor man's N'Golo Kante.
Yeah.
Like he'll go wherever you need him to go. And he'll do it the whole game.
He sets it, and him being captain, he sets a great example for other players.
Yeah.
To me. Yeah. I think he does a great job of setting the standard of this is what a Liverpool, like I bet he works hard and I bet he's like the first one there in the practice field, first one there in the film room. He sets the tone about how you should hold yourself as a Liverpool player on this team.
Yeah.
And that a good cap, I know that, well, what does the armband really mean in this day and age? You know, everyone, I think it showed on this Liverpool team what a captain really can do for you. A good captain at that.
You know who might kind of fit that Firmino role? Thomas Muller.
Yeah, for a year or two.
Yeah, like a bit of a drop back distribute. I think he's 28, right? 27, 28. Bit of a drop back distributor forward type of guy that can also score.
Yeah, because it's not a true false nine like they played at Barcelona, but Firmino is dropped more back than a normal striker would be.
Yeah.
And he can also, I mean, that front, you want to keep that. You need a player that can be fluid with the other two forwards in that system. That's what makes that, to me, you know how the Netherlands brought up total football where everyone can switch, and I mean the guy playing forward could drop back to center back and play just as well. Yeah. To me, that front three with Liverpool is so interchangeable. And I think that, to me, that's what makes a deadly front three. If you look at Barcelona with Suarez, Messi, and I forget the other guy. Neymar when he was there. They could all play center forward. Yeah, they could all play out wide. Yeah. And when Rooney, Tevez, and Ronaldo were hitting it, they could all play out wide. They could all play in the center. I mean, so you weren't ever – when you're trying to mark these guys, you can't just say, well, Rooney is always going to be center forward, so I know where he all of a sudden he's out left, and then Tevez comes in on you, and, you know. Yeah. You need a guy that can do that. I mean, if you really want to replace one of them. Other than that, I think it's just getting role players, like your Shakiris, like your Girouds. Like, it's just getting guys who aren't going to disrupt your locker room. Mm-hmm. Guys that are going to young kids that don't know enough not to buy in, and then veterans who want to go and maybe chase the championship. Yeah. So you need a Ray Bork. Pick up a Ray Bork. You can get Ray Bork out of retirement. Just get Ray Bork in there and have him play center defense. Yeah. I mean, can I give you my dream scenario? Okay. Pablo Bure as your new forward. Real Madrid comes for either Sadio Mane or Mo Salah. Replace him with Kylian Mbappe. Man City comes for Andy Robertson. We replace Andy Robertson with Alphonso Davies. Oh my God. Fuck you, man. Right? Fuck you. Oh, dude, that'd be another championship. How great would that be? For you, it'd be great, but not for me. I've got to say, United, they won their FA Cup match against Norwich. I saw that, yes. So, Manchester United is now in the FA Cup semis, right? So it's you and City and Chelsea, and who's the fourth one? Arsenal, right. Arsenal plays the winner of City Newcastle. If that's already been played, I imagine City won. Yes. So I think it's Arsenal, City, and we play Chelsea. You play Chelsea, yeah. Okay. So we got Chelsea. It's like July 16th or something like that. United's hardware hopes are still alive. Their Europa League, and FA. Well, and your Champions League hopes are still alive too. You trail
Wolves by 1
If you want to
point, but
call
that's
it,
because
if you want to call, if you want to go ahead and call the Europa League the Champions League, I'll take it. Then yes, we're in the Champions League.
Wolves are only 1 point ahead of you because they've played one more game than you have.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the competition this year. Yeah, we are fighting for that.
Yeah. So you, your Champions League spot is still up for grabs.
Especially if City, as long as I think the ban's going to be upheld against City, and they're going to. I think that 5th spot is going to be an automatic.
I think the whole
but it'd be nice to get
suspension
the top 4.
The suspension of the league kind of hurt them because I think what they were trying to do was skate into the Champions League before the ban was heard, and I think now they're not going to be able to do that now.
I think how crazy it would be if they win it and then they can't play next year. The champions of the Champions League. I still don't think City. I don't know if we talked about this, but like Chelsea beating the team to give them the championship. They did it for Leicester, and now they did it for Liverpool. It's funny how they like twice in 4 years or something like that. They've done it. That's just crazy.
Poor Roger Bennett. His favorite American player delivers the championship to his most bitter team rival.
I mean, he's lived his since Everton can't win, he's lived his life knowing that at least Liverpool hasn't won the championship.
Right. And now it's handed to him by Christian Pulisic. Just amazing.
I mean, I'm happy for. I talk about Christian for a little bit. I'm happy he's fighting there at Chelsea. There was a moment there where I thought he was going to quit on Chelsea and just be like, send me somewhere else. Mm-hmm. There's too many people here to compete with. Mm-hmm. The fact that he's fought and trained, and because Frank Lampard is doing what a good manager should do. I don't care how much you cost this team. I'm going to play the players that are playing well. Right. That's what a manager should do. That's how you get the best out of your best players, I believe. When everything is up for my starting 11 is going to be the 11 best players that are playing right now. Like you're not no one is guaranteed a spot in this team. And to me, that's that is what Christian Pulisic is working his way into this, because Chelsea's a stacked team. I mean,
they're going to be ridiculous. They're going to be ridiculous next season. There's so many of those guys that are either just going to be stuck on the bench or that are going to have to go out on loan just to get playing time because
it's ridiculous.
They're not going to be able to play everybody. Yeah.
Because they have the whole year of transfers. They got money burning a hole in their pocket. They're just going to. I mean, they bought Timo Werner. So So that means
when they didn't need it.
Tammy Abraham. No, they got
So one of them,
Tammy Abraham, Olivier Giroud, and stuff.
Yeah. No, it's insane.
But Chelsea's going to come back next season. It's going to be a hell of a.
It's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough.
Think about this league next season. City's going to recharge. Chelsea's going to recharge. Going to spend money. There's going to be. I mean, Tottenham's got to do something to get butts in the seats. I mean, it's
going to be. It's going to be.
It's going to be a hell of a league next season. Because most teams like United getting Fernandez and maybe getting Paul Pogba back to playing football instead of being a little bitch. It kind of started work. Like they were like against Sheffield. Like seeing those two play together, it's gonna be because you've got two guys that can place the ball in midfield anywhere they want to, and that's just. I mean, Rashford and Greenwood. We're spoiled for riches right now, but we do need. We need another center back. I would like to get our fullbacks down. We've got some young talent there. I mean, but I want a good fucking fullback there.
Sliding over to throwball kick.
Okay.
So you may remember earlier this season, our friends, the Chicago Bears, paid $20 million to one Nick Foles, coming off of a broken clavicle. who played, I believe it was 2 quarters in the first game of the season before blowing out his clavicle and ending his year. They're paying that Nick Foles $20 million.
He came back, played like shit, and then got benched again.
That's right. They are paying that Nick Foles $20 million to compete with Mitchell Trubisky for the starting job this year. In the meantime, New England Patriots jettisoned Tom Brady, allowing him to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers so they could sign one Cameron Newton at a cost of, get this, $1.75 million.
The veteran minimum. The
veteran minimum
contract could go up to 7.5, I believe, with the incentives.
Yes, which is still
they've got
$12.5 million less than Nick Foles is getting to compete with Mitchell Trubisky.
I would take a Cameron Newton with a chip on his shoulder any day of the week as my quarterback.
A Cameron Newton
because he's a damn good quarterback.
A Cameron Newton that has not been hit in over 365 days. Right? He's healthy. He's angry. Yeah. He feels undervalued.
Best shape of his life.
He's playing with a terrific defense. He's playing for Josh McDaniels. He's playing for Bill Belichick. Even if this doesn't turn into a Super Bowl, this is a brilliant contract move.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's a great move for the Patriots and a great move for Cameron Newton. Because getting to play with those guys, it's ridiculous. He's going to get coached by the best coaches. And his game, he was already a league MVP at Carolina. Now he's going to be given the best coaching staff to take his game. He's going to take his game to the next level. You
got a 31-year-old quarterback, 2 or 3 seasons removed from his MVP Super Bowl season. He's younger. Yeah. He's younger than the guy. He's 10 years younger than the guy that left you. He's younger than Aaron Rodgers. He's younger than a whole bunch of other great quarterbacks in the league, and he hasn't played in over a year.
And he adds an element to New England they haven't had in 20 years, a mobile quarterback.
Exactly.
So, and McDaniels knows how to play with a mobile. He basically designed an entire offense around Tim Tebow, and he took them to the playoffs, with Tim Tebow. Right. So imagine what he's going to do with Cameron Newton. It's like you've given the richest kid the best toy again. It's ridiculous.
And apparently, according to reports, no other team in the league expressed any interest in Cam Newton.
Why? If I'm the Browns, I'm picking him. If I'm the Jags, I'm picking. It doesn't make any sense what they've done.
Browns, Jaguars, Broncos, Bengals, Jets,
Bills.
Chargers, Bills, Raiders. There are probably 6 teams in the league that don't want him. Why would nobody even ask the question?
I don't understand how the Patriots of all teams, I would pull Real Madrid and have him on my team just so he couldn't play against me if I'm the Jets.
Exactly. So I'm not going to have to line up across from Cam Newton. That's easily worth $1.75 million. Easily.
Exactly. This is an embarrassment to the league. That
I don't understand how the league works, man. I thought the league was all about talent. Apparently that isn't the case.
It's about. Apparently they just didn't want to have. He's too much a distraction. His dress up after the game is just too much.
The old distraction argument.
Which is bullshit.
You know what's really distracting? Losing. Losing is really distracting.
Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of coaches that lose their job that would have loved to have Cameron Newton as a quarterback this season.
Yeah. One of them could be in Chicago.
It's not like you couldn't afford him.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's basically there are punters making more money than him.
He is playing for free.
But he's playing for a contract. And we know guys historically in a contract year ball out.
Yep.
He's going to ball out in New England.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
I feel sorry for the Bills,
the AFC East. I feel sorry for the AFC East. They thought in the Dolphins.
Not really the Dolphins,
thought they had.
Because screw those guys.
They got Tua. They got Tua.
We got the best deal. No, you don't. You got nothing.
You got nothing, kid. Nothing.
You got nothing.
You're a bum. You're a bunch of bums, AFC East. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I cannot wait to see what Cam Newton does with the New England Patriots. I mean, his ability to extend plays is going to be the key to that offense.
Yes. Yeah.
And he is going to fight like nothing. Like there's nobody. Like it's nobody's business. It's going to be ridiculous to see what New England does next year.
Reportedly, there will be a baseball season, Ken. The league is talking about a 60-game season. I guess
weird.
All the games are going to be played in. They're going to follow the NBA / NHL model of how to do this.
What?
So
really?
So tell me, a 60-game season? Do you even care? A 60-game season?
It's a spring training season. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's essentially.
I don't understand it. The MLB owners are assholes.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the players. Again, I had an interview with I talked to a guy at work. The classic. What always happens in these situations? People side with the owners, these billionaires, over the players.
Yeah.
And it's like these billionaires and almost feel sorry for them when they don't build their own stadiums. They have the city pay for it when they have billions of dollars. They rake in all the money from that, and people feel sorry for them. And when they can take the team and move it anywhere they want.
One of the most interesting dynamics to me in American sport is the tendency of fans who are mostly labor to side with management over labor. Like it's one of the most bizarre. One of the most bizarre things I've ever seen.
Blows my mind. It blows my mind.
And really, so I've been thinking about this, and I feel like what it is, it's the same sort of thing we're seeing with masks, right? Like we want our baseball. We want our stuff. We want to do whatever we want to do. And if anybody tries to take that away from us, we revolt. And we always point the finger in the wrong direction. And I don't understand. I don't understand why we do it. It is one of the most bizarre aspects of American life to me.
Because people forget this country is founded by crazy people. They were crazy people in their country, and they were so crazy they got kicked out of their country and sent across an ocean. And then when they got here, as the crazier they got, they moved them out west. Like Manifest Destiny was just kicking the crazier Americans more out west. That's all that was. We will give you free land just to get the fuck out of here. I mean,
as long as you're white.
All right.
Free land's only for white people.
Yeah. If you're black, you're just gonna be working the land. That's
you
all.
Just have to work.
That's what you're gonna be doing.
Right.
And for room and board.
We'll keep the free part. It's just that you'll be able to working for free instead of owning it for free. That's how we do it.
You get free room and board. I mean,
right? Yeah.
It doesn't. Times are tough out there. Wouldn't you rather work this land and you don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to worry about paying somebody. just
Right,
stay in
right.
this little house and work the
We'll
field.
take care of all that for you.
You know,
It's
I
no
mean,
problem. It's no
I
problem.
mean, according to like Bill O'Reilly and Fox News, I mean, they had great facilities. I mean,
Oh yeah.
bordering on like it is bordering like Alabama college football facility. I mean, they
Oh,
had their own
dude,
swimming pool and I mean,
they were living in the Waldorf Astoria.
oh, I know it was. I mean,
It
have you
was
seen the
nuts.
houses on those plantations? Those houses
It
on the
was.
plantations were huge.
It was crazy.
Amazing. I can't. Please make me a slave. Only 12 years, honey. Make it 12, 15.
Oh my God.
I,
Yeah. I
like
don't.
good old slavery jokes.
It's a.
They always kill. They kill.
It's going to be a 60-game baseball season, and I can't tell you I care because I don't.
Because baseball needs those 162 games to really see what team is the best. Because if you like I love what people are saying. Last year, if they had the 60-game season, the Washington Nationals, who won the series, wouldn't even have made the playoffs. They were like a 13-30 starting out.
Yeah.
And then went on a tear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's gonna. I mean, all these leagues. I mean, at least the NHL and NBA had some games played, and they were coming close to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So their little tournaments at the end, it's gonna make more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the MLS is doing what it can with this little World Cup tournament they're having.
Yeah, I don't really understand what's happening there either, but okay. Yeah.
Well, basically, all the teams are going to be set up in a World Cup style, 4 groups, 6 groups of 4. They play that out and then go into a tournament.
It's going to play a tournament to decide who wins the cup.
They're playing a World Cup tournament, basically, for the season, which I think is good for the MLS. For the MLS not being a big, I mean, their crowds are bigger than MLB, I believe. I think they broke into that. I think it's a great since you can't play a full season and travel. This gimmick of the World Cup type of style is I think a stroke of genius for MLS because it's going to adds a twist to a season where it's like that everybody has a chance, like everyone's basically in the playoffs. So I'm gonna be interested to see how it goes.
I think under the circumstances, it's probably the smartest thing they could do.
It's the best thing the MLS could have done instead of having like a 15-game season and then trying to have playoffs. It's just everyone's in the tournament. Yeah, and let's see what happens.
Right. Oh. Wow.
I guess celebrating that title has got me tired.
I am exhausted. I've been up partying since Thursday. You would believe it. You would not believe. Responsibly, of course. Socially distanced, mask on all the time. But
everything.
Wow, I've been having a blast.
Having a ball.
That is going to wrap it up for this week's Whirlwind Week in Review. Moving on, Ken. Love it, hate it time. Love it, hate it time. What do you? I know it's been a tough week. What do you love this weekend?
What do I love? I'm going to say I love that the Premier League is back. Even though I love that Liverpool's won, they got their title. I'm glad the season wasn't nullified. I love that all these other countries have been able to flatten their curves down to damn near nothing to where they can. I love that New Zealand has a crowd full stadium, not socially distanced, now face masks at their rugby match. I love that there are countries that were smart enough to take it seriously to get rid of the virus.
Were we one of those countries?
No. We have flattened our curve by just keeping it plateaued. Like it went up and it just stayed right there, and then it went up a little bit. Like I hate looking at that graph. You see all these other countries like going like this, and we're just like, yeah, America.
What I'm hearing you say, Ken, is that we are the best at curves. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah.
We're not messing around with any of this flattening bullshit. We are the best at curves.
We are an obese nation, and it deserves to have a big curve. I love that football's back. it's weird without the fans. It definitely is a weird. It's a different kind of game, but I'm happy that I get to come home. I get to come home from work tomorrow and watch United play Brighton and Hove.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I was going to see that again, and the fact that United's fighting for a top four is I'm happy that part of that escapism that I can have is back. That I have something that I don't have to. All this news is coming out about crazy shit. I can just I'm happy that there's finally something that I enjoy that's back. What do you love?
What do I love? Can you see this? Is that coming through there?
Yeah, it's coming through.
Can you see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to say that when I started my English football experience, what was it, 4 years ago now? And the first several games I watched were the Raheem Sterling, Daniel Sturridge, Luis Suarez led Liverpool FC that I thought was one of the most exciting offensive football teams I had ever seen.
Couldn't play defense for shit.
Couldn't play defense to save their lives, but that didn't matter because they scored 6 goals a game, and that's all you needed. Until you got down to the end of the season and everything sucked. But anyway,
was it Philip Coutinho? They had a young Philip Coutinho.
Yeah,
special.
We had an old Stevie G. We had a Martin Skirtle at the back there.
The old meth dealer at the back.
Tattoos than he had skin.
Remember Simo Mignolet?
I do. I actually we saw him play. Remember when they came to Notre Dame? He played because Allison was off at some other tournament.
That's hilarious.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just the name Simo Mignolet just cracked me up. If you look at the guys that left that team and the talent they got back into it is just ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm grateful that in 4 years of following this team, I've had the pleasure to be a Champions League winner, a World Club winner, FIFA, whatever the hell we won at the start of the year, and now an EPL,
the Community Shield,
Community Shield winner, and the EPL championship winner in 4 years. I understand that is apparently not a thing a lot of fans get to say unless they are Manchester United or Barcelona / Real Madrid / Bayern Munich fans. But if it had to happen to one team, it couldn't have happened to a nicer team. Just saying.
Couldn't happen to an. I just want to say, I wish I could go back and get a super cut of all the times you've talked shit about this team, and all the times that I've had to talk you off a cliff. Don't worry, man. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. No, there's shit. There's shit.
I can put one together for you.
Remember when you were a City fan?
I do.
It's like you experimented in college for a couple weeks. You experimented with being a City fan.
I still have that Kevin De Bruyne shirt somewhere in the closet. I don't know.
I think. Are you done with that now? Are you done?
Well,
have you settled? Have you settled in?
We'll see how the next few years pan out. But
come on.
For now, I think we're good.
Come on.
What do you hate, Ken?
What do I hate? I hate Americans. I hate Americans. And
wait. All of them, or particular ones?
Certain groups of them, that go into town hall meetings and argue against wearing masks because God made us this beautiful creature. God made us this beautiful creature that gets diseases and dies. That's what God made. God also made germs that can kill us. and you dumb fucks. They talk about wearing masks like I can't breathe with the mask on. It's like, what?
So you saw that clip, right? The Florida town hall.
Oh God, yes, I did. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, and there have been some other doozies.
I have two questions. I have 2 questions. Like, okay, for all the people going, I can't wear the mask because I can't breathe. Next time you go in for surgery, I hope your surgeon says exactly the same thing to you.
Tell the surgeon, just lose that.
I would love to wear this mask, but I'm not able to breathe. So for the next 8 hours that I'm operating on your liver, we'll all be going mask free. I hope that's okay with you, because I can't breathe.
Also I got to lose the gloves because the dexterity. I lose dexterity.
Yeah. I just
and I can't.
There's no way around it.
I can't wash my hands either because I lose that. I need that grip.
And question number 2: how did we arrive at a point where your objection to protecting yourself and your friends and your neighbors and your family from a potentially fatal disease is that God gave you this beautiful breathing apparatus that somehow this mask disrupts, and you were unable to. I can't even follow the logic. I don't understand what.
You're going against God, and also people. This is God's plan, so people die.
I'm going against God by making sure my mother and my sister and my wife stay alive. That's not part of that's against God's plan. I'm confused. I honestly don't understand what's going on.
This country is made of crazy people. We believe in angels. We believe the earth is flat. I mean, we don't believe in vaccines. So when this vaccine comes out, how are you going to get people to fucking take it? I mean, the internet in America I know they censor the internet in China. They need to censor the internet in the United States. It needs to be censored. There needs to be one internet you go to that's like all the bullshit is taken off of it. It'd be like 30 pages long. And it would just have facts on it. Like global warming is real. The earth is round.
We have those, Kevin. We call them books.
Yeah. Oh God. Like I'm tired of people about the mask. I'm tired of people bitching about statues getting torn down of traitors. They talk about how much they love America and the United States, but worship people that wanted to break it up.
That is the biggest irony of this of the whole Confederate statue thing to me. Like, I don't. It's the thing. How is it you love America but love traitors to America? I'm confused. Make it make sense.
Why aren't there more Hitler statues?
Make it make sense.
Joseph Stalin statues.
Make it make okay. Well, there are Stalin statues, and that's probably part of the problem. But there are no Hitler statues. I mean, there are no Hitler statues. Right?
I mean, I mean, it would be like in Germany if there were still like a bunch of Nazi supporters, like not just the little neo-Nazis. I'm talking like fucking straight up. If there was half of the Germany that was like the southern part of Germany was all like Nazi supporters,
right?
And they still flew the flag, and they actually said it's not about hate; it's about my grandfather fought in World War II.
Yeah,
I mean that's how silly this is.
I feel like Germans have managed to do in 70 years what Americans haven't managed to do in 150.
How is that possible?
I don't know. I don't understand it.
And I'm so tired. It's about heritage. Your heritage was to secede from the Union so you could keep people as slaves. That's what it was about.
Your heritage was treason.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make you feel good about that, but that's what it was. I'm sorry.
They feel great about it.
I'm sorry if the reason you can't accept that is because it makes you sad, but that is the fact of the matter. The Confederacy seceded from the United States. They left the Union. They were traitors to the Union. I don't know how to make you feel good about that, but that is not my job.
I would want that as far away from me as possible. Like, I wouldn't want to be associated with the people that wanted to break up the United States of America. Like,
no,
why?
No,
why are they so into this? And it's that, and also just finding out that President Trump let Putin put bounties on American soldiers' heads. So that's what I hate.
Okay.
And I love that what they're saying is, well, the intel isn't, concise. Well, then if it
is the intel not concise, or can you not read? Which is it? Because
you can't read.
I'd be willing to bet it's the fact that you can't read.
Or is it the fact that you got all your money from Russian oligarchs and you're in Putin's pocket? That's why you don't do anything against Russia.
Well, that and you can't read.
He's the most worthless, incompetent president we've ever had. What do you hate, Mark?
What do I hate? I hate Karen's, Ken. I don't know if you've seen.
We all hate Karen. Thanks a lot, Karen. You ruined it for everyone, Karen.
I don't know how we decided on Karen, but I'm okay with it. Like, I felt
it fits.
I think we had like Permit Patty for a while and Barbecue Becky, and we kind of ended up on Karen. And I think that's good. It fits. It fits.
It's so fitting.
We're apparently still trying to come up with a name for male Karens. Some people want to go with Kens. I don't want to do that. I prefer Chads.
That doesn't work.
I prefer Chads.
I can see Kevin.
Chad seems like a Kevin's not bad. Chad seems like that
Chads or
yeah
or Brad
hanging Chads, pregnant Chads.
Chad.
Hey,
Chad. Thanks, Chad. Chad.
Chads and Karen. I think that works.
Or the classic Todd. Thanks, Todd.
But I in a way, okay. So in a way, I hate it because Karens have been getting, and this is not an exaggeration. Karens have been getting Black people fired, injured, maimed, murdered for more than 100 years. So that part is very serious. The fun part of this, though, is
the fun part
is the fact that we now seem to be acknowledging Karens for who they are.
Yeah.
And it seems like for the first time, other white people go, wait a minute, that ain't right. And it's like, we've been trying to tell you this, but I'm yeah. Go ahead.
I would say the best thing, I'm sorry, lack of best thing that could have happened to white people is to be shown George Floyd and the guy in Central Park at the same time.
Yes.
So here's a man who was killed by the police. Then here's a white woman who is going to sick the police on this Black man
who is trying to get this guy killed.
Using the police as basically like a dog, sick them. Seeing those two events happen side by side, this is what police do to Black people, and here's a white woman using the police and knowing and she knew what they would do to him because he's big and Black.
Exactly. She knew exactly what would happen if she did exactly what she did. And I feel like
white people saw both those events happen side by side and were like,
yes,
holy shit, it's real.
Yes.
It's real.
Yes.
And with no other another thing, just there was nothing they could watch. They couldn't watch baseball or basketball. Their attentions couldn't go anywhere else but on this story.
Yes, they had to watch it because it was playing everywhere. It was all anybody was talking about. There was no game on. There was nothing else to do. They couldn't go to a restaurant.
You could not.
They couldn't go to a bar.
Your focus couldn't go anywhere else but on this story.
Nope. You had to look at it. You had to look at it. And you
And
looked at it and you were like, oh, that's pretty shitty. And we're like,
but a good thing,
yeah.
Minneapolis is dismantling their police department.
Yeah. So apparently, what was it? There was a city in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Did this a few years ago. They dismantled their police department. They had everybody reapply, and then they came up with a selection process criteria for stuff. They rehired them, and they gave them a completely different focus. Yeah. And apparently,
seems to have worked.
The results in Camden have been overwhelmingly positive. So I'm interested to see what happens in Minneapolis.
It needs to work in a big city like Minneapolis to show that because I believe this can work. A person with a gun doesn't need to show up to every single situation.
Right.
Like that doesn't need to happen because I can see the one problem, like in England and stuff. Well, their cops don't have guns. Well, their people also don't have fucking guns either. Like,
right.
There's that part of it. Like, but cops need to be this. It needs to be dismantled, and they need this warrior training needs to be cut out of every single. Like, I would have it if you want to become a police officer. There's no more warrior training. If you are caught taking this warrior training, you will be fired. It would be in the contract. You cannot take this type of training.
Yeah. When did we decide? When did we decide? When did we decide that cops were soldiers? I don't remember that being a decision that we consciously made.
When powerful white people saw that with wars, with the industrial military industrial complex makes so much money, and when there's the wars winding down, you've got all this product.
You gotta sell this product somewhere.
So,
right.
So what's the next best thing? At least they want to be like soldiers. So just tell them they are soldiers, dress them up like soldiers. Guess how they'll act? They'll act like fucking soldiers. Like they pretend like they're fucking patrolling Kabul or something instead of fucking South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised they're not rolling around in Hummers with a fucking 50 caliber machine gun up on top.
I
guarantee if you could, they would.
That's only because we stopped making Hummers in South Bend here. Don't make them here anymore, so they don't have the access to them as easily.
The fact that any police department they have troop carriers.
Oh yeah.
Troop carriers are for taking troops into battle. Yeah. That's their purpose.
Yeah.
Not taking police officers, and no knock warrants. And qualified immunity has got to go. You get rid of that. I think you drop incidents of police brutality by 70% if you get rid of qualified immunity.
And that's going to be the real heavy lift here, right? Like, that's going to be the one that that the police unions push back against the hardest, because the fact that they're able to do whatever they want and get away with it is what makes that job attractive for a large portion of the people.
It's too much power. It's too much power. It's basically saying you're above the law.
Exactly.
You're there to enforce these laws, but you're not accountable to those same laws.
Right.
And what does power ultimately do? It corrupts. And you can take the best person, but give them that much freedom and power, it's eventually going to corrode them from the inside. And then I just saw my partner just whip somebody. He didn't get any trouble. He's actually getting high-fived in the precinct. I want to get high-fived.
Right.
Who do I have to whip to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about, because in being a police officer it's such a cliquish type of thing that you have to be in the group. And if you don't agree, if you don't go with the flow in the police, I mean, we've all seen it. You're the one guy that says, no, this isn't right. They just kick you out. Yeah. You're becoming pariah.
Yeah.
You're gone.
If we only get one substantive reform out of this whole thing. I hope it's that.
Yeah, if I could pick one thing, I would let all. Don't get me wrong. But I would trade those 4 cops getting off for getting rid of qualified immunity.
Yes.
Yeah, I know it's a horrible thing to say. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but I would make that trade. If someone said, "Here's the trade, these 4 get off, but you get rid of this horrible thing," I take it.
Well, because in the long run, that's going to be more valuable.
It would save more people. I would be a horrible thing, but I'd be like, at least something good came out of this man's death. Is that they are held to the same laws that we are.
Yeah.
Because then those 4 cops might not go to jail, but every other cop after them is going to.
The next 4 will. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's because that's what they need to see. They need to see their brothers in blue getting held to the same standard that is every citizen.
Right.
They're not above citizenship. You are there to serve and protect. You're not kill.
Right.
To serve and protect. I mean, it's a noble duty. Is what it should be. Being a police officer should be a noble cause. You are there to help police your community and keep the community safe from those who would wish to do ill to it. But
right.
You're the one doing ill to the community. You're the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're the one. When people should feel safe when they see a cop car, not be like, "Oh fuck."
Right. Right.
Like people see a cop car now. It's like shit.
Yeah.
It should be like, "Oh, there's good people in there," but they're not.
And if the police are doing this now, when they know everybody's watching, imagine what they were doing before when they thought nobody was watching.
God. I mean, and we thought there was always little things. Well, this will solve it. This will solve it. Body cams will solve it. But body cams,
they just turn them off.
Anyhow, they just kind of they
just turn them off.
Malfunction when something crazy happens.
Can't believe that.
Oh, the footage in the precinct got deleted. Oh, you know how you do on a computer, you delete all your files I clean up my computer every day by deleting every file on it.
Yeah, no.
Don't you do that, Mark?
All the time, Ken. All the time. There's my hard drive is empty. In fact, I reinstall all my programs every day. I uninstall everything before I go home. I reinstall it every morning. It takes an hour and a half, but who cares? That's just what I have to do. It's what I have to do.
I got to keep that shit clean, dog.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Exactly.
That's just
the routine.
There's so much going wrong with this world that we need. I mean, people ain't got work. Renters, people who rent houses are gonna get evicted. This crisis that we don't have leadership at the top, and it is showing. I mean, I know the president. I mean, there's checks and balances, and the president can't do all that much, but just having that leadership can bleed down into Congress. This can bleed down into the governors. Not having that right now is killing this country. It's killing it.
On that note, it is time to end.
Yeah.
We are you can contact us at Gmail at I screwed this up live for the first time. Look at that. And now I can't even edit it out. I just made a huge mistake. Liverpool won the championship. Did I mention that? Okay. You can contact us at thekenandmarkshow@gmail.com or on Facebook or on Twitter at Ken and Mark Show. We are available for a download on iTunes and SoundCloud and Google Play. Google Play. The original podcast page, The Ken and Mark Show. .libsyn.com. And this episode will be found on YouTube, probably on Thursday, because I got a work trip tomorrow, so maybe Thursday evening this will be up on YouTube.
Be safe.
All right,
sir. Buddy.
Good night, sir.
Good night, man.
See you later.